Hey friends, this is Elijah from the Cryptid Studies Institute, here with the next installment of our fictional Tales from the Holler series. I want to quickly apologize for the lack of uploads. We've been dealing with some misfortune recently, which has eaten up most of our time we had to create new content. However, I promise new videos are on the way, which will be posted on our main channel, Cryptid Studies Institute, and here on our secondary channel as well, Cryptid Studies Plus. We have new Nightmare Nugget videos on the way, the next being a very in-depth documentary on the Bell Witch, which will span about 3 to 4 hours in length. And friends, with that out of the way, please enjoy this next segment of Tales from the Holler, Phantom of the Bait Shop. At the center of town, just a ways down the mountain, close to Point Park near the Wishing Well Fountain, there's a structure that's built that is epic in size, a place almost holy to the fishing-type guys, where a fellow can buy him a new set of waders, or a really stout pole used for reeling up gators, or a gig or some lures, some sinkers or floaters, or whatever you need if perhaps you're a boater. You can buy crickets, or a box of red wigglers, or some blue jelly worms that are simply called jigglers. The name of this huge shopping mecca is Anglers, and they stock every kind of a fishing line dangler. If outdoor adventure is what you're into, then this is the place that is perfect for you. Anglers is great, but it has a dark past. 20 murders occurred there the year before last. The murderous spree, it began without warning, when they found a dead body one crisp autumn morning. Young Gary Ferris was crushed neath a pallet that was loaded with skillets and sinkers and mallets. And the bodies kept coming in rapid succession, from a killer ramped up with a brutal aggression. In October that year, near the pumpkin display, we found Charlie Parker, cut up and filleted. He was discovered by the sweet Catherine Dottie, but he wasn't the last of the mangled up bodies. Next was Jack Hatcher, our head checkout wrangler, found hanged by the neck with an old fishing stringer. And Abel McCauley was found dead by the skull, treble hooks in his face from some big fishing poles. Abel obsessed over dip. Oh, how he loved it. And he died pierced with hooks and suspended above it. Folks were afraid of this tackle shop mangler, spooked beyond words to come shopping at Anglers. Some thought the killer was a specter or ghost, but there was one suspect that stood out the most, a man who had managed our large garden center, and I believe he was our local tormentor. This phantom, this fiend, this butcher, this killer, once worked in the store selling mowers and tillers. They say that his name was Eric John Tate, and at the company picnic he met his grim fate. Eric was smitten by the sweet Catherine Dottie, but she was in love with her boss, Billy Roddy. Eric yearned hard for the love of this maiden. His heart was sad and it felt heavy-laden. He wondered what he could do to impress her, when he was too shy to even address her. I think I will woo her using music and song. It's the language of love, what could ever go wrong? Eric was brilliant, a true banjo scholar, the greatest in all of the hills and the hollers. When he put his fingers to those banjo strings, it sounded like heaven, a beautiful thing. So he wrote up a song to win Catherine's affection. He longed for her heart and a real love connection. Eric determined to win her heart quick. He would serenade her at the yearly picnic. He saw his beloved near the red tater salad, so he jumped on the table to play her his ballad. He was so focused on his heart's one desire that he tripped and he fell in the turkey deep fryer. He was disfigured by the hot turkey oil. His face nearly melted. It deep fried and broiled. Eric's charred face, it just kept getting hotter. He screamed and he ran for the lake's cooling water. He dove in the water and he sank like a stone. And he never resurfaced. Eric was gone. Some say that Eric returned from the dead, wanting revenge for his deeply fried head. Eric blamed Anglers. He blamed Billy Roddy. He blamed everyone but the sweet Catherine Dottie. Soon after Eric disappeared in that lake, Timothy Sly was impaled on a rake, and strange things occurred by day and by night, as customers claimed to see unearthly sights of a shadowy figure with a deeply charred head that terrified them and filled them with dread. There were sounds of banjo ballads a-playin', as a phantomy fiend set about to go slayin'. The kill count was rising from this musical mangler, as stock prices plummeted for the store they called Anglers. People were scared to come there to do shopping, with this killer afoot who loved slashing and chopping. The company knew they must act rather quickly. Profits were down. They were stagnant and sickly. They decided to have a big sale extravaganza, a shopping event that would be a bonanza. They would cut costs on kayaks and reels, and offer hot dogs cooked on discounted grills. And the person they forced to head up this event was the sweet Catherine Dottie, against her consent. She didn't want to be there after dark, since Luanna Jones was found missing her heart. But she had no choice but to ready the sale. She'd lose her job if this grand event failed. So she worked really late on the evening preceding, till she found Billy Roddy on the ground, cut and bleeding. He was cut up from his head to his toes. His eyes were gouged out, and he was missing his nose. The sweet Catherine Dottie screamed out in fear as a disfigured man with banjo drew near. On his blistered-up face was a mask made of flannel, and he covered himself in a burlappy mantle. He said that he loved her, and he started to play a song that she heard at the picnic that day, when a young would-be suitor fell into the deep fryer, then plunged in the lake while a-blazing on fire. The sweet, serene music had Catherine enthralled, as the phantom kept coming in his bib overalls. His crispy fried head was adorned with a hat, a dirty old thing that just simply read, Cats. He climbed on a pallet of charcoal briquettes to pour out his heart to this lovely brunette. Without any warning, Catherine's thrall was broken when she heard Billy Roddy start gagging and choking. Blood was a-pouring from his now sightless eyes, and he gurgled and wheezed and made little small cries. The sweet Catherine Dottie then pulled out a lighter and lit up the charcoal with her pocket igniter. The briquettes erupted in a hot, fiery blaze, and Eric was screaming with pain and malaise. The fire quickly spread to the rest of the store, as Catherine dragged Billy to the rear exit door. Help shortly came to extinguish the fire that burned in the night like a funeral pyre. The ashes were searched for the phantom's dead body, as the cops drove away with the sweet Catherine Dottie. The body of Eric was never recovered. Not one trace of him was ever discovered. Even a witch, people say, is suspected of using dark magic to get him resurrected. Others say Eric just simply survived and made his escape, and he still is alive. I cannot say if he's living or perished, but murder and mayhem was a thing that he cherished. So if you shop at night and hear banjos a-playin', the murderous phantom may be at a slayin'. And beware of the sign that flashes live bait, or the bass angler phantom just might seal your fate.